Here's what I wish I knew before becoming an IT project manager. There's one mistake you can make as a project manager that leads to a stressful, miserable career, and it has nothing to do with your technical skills. It's so easy to fall into this trap. As a result, your work is so much more stressful and you always feel overwhelmed with low-value daily tasks and meetings. With over 15 years of experience leading IT projects and mentoring project managers, I know the solution. The top 1% of all project managers use a simple structural change that frees up 80% of their time for strategic work. In this video, I'll give you the 4-step framework to implement it. Let's dive in. Step number 1. Create the playbook. Alright, let me tell you how I learned this. Because early in my career, I was this classic chief problem solver. I was in every meeting, I was the gatekeeper for every decision. And for a small company, it worked. I had perfect control. But then I moved to a bigger company. I got my first enterprise level project. And I tried the same approach. No, it wasn't a complete disaster, but I quickly noticed that problems were piling up faster than I could solve them. A few months in, I was drowning. I was busy all day with these small, unimportant decisions, and I was reacting to the problems all the time. That's when it hit me. My real job was not to solve every single problem. My job was to build a team that could do that. That single idea changes everything. Your primary role is to become the architect of your project management framework. You design the playbook and then you empower your team to execute the project. This principle is so foundational that I made it the first pillar of my project success blueprint. And if you want to dive deeper into the complete system, you can check it out later. It is in the description below this video. Next up is step 2, and it's critical. Fund your playbook. If you skip this, you'll demotivate your best people, and you risk becoming the most hated PM on earth. You have to formally plan for your leadership team. That means allocating real time and real money for them to do the job right. Now, this is the part that makes most project managers nervous, because they treat leadership as an extra responsibility for their senior people. Why? Because they don't feel comfortable asking the project sponsors for the budget. But you have to reframe that conversation. You are not asking for the overhead. You are making a strategic investment in the project's success. You are funding your playbook and leadership team. So here's the practical rule of thumb I use. For your group leaders, you must budget at least 20% of their time specifically for leadership and management tasks. And if they are leading a group of more than 5 people, that number needs to be closer to 50%. The rest of their time, that goes to their own critical tasks on the project. Step number 3. Staff your playbook. So you have your playbook and your budget, but you hit the wall. You look at the team you have been given, and you don't see any natural leaders there. Why is this a trap? Because if you don't have leaders on your team, every problem, every question, every conflict lands right back on your desk. You are forced back into being the chief problem solver, the exact role you are trying to escape. And the project slows to your personal bandwidth, and you become the bottleneck. That's why step number 3 is all about being a proactive talent manager. A manager with the courage to say no to people who don't fit into your playbook. Your first move is to assess your current team. Look at their skills, of course, but more importantly, look for career ambitions. Has anyone expressed a desire to lead? Who has this spark to lead people? And this leads to my single most important rule for this step. If I can give you one piece of advice here, it is this. If a person doesn't want to lead, do not force them into the role. Do not promote your best technical experts if they don't want to manage people. Based on my 15 years of experience, I can tell you this almost always ends up in a disaster. So, what if you have no willing internal candidates? Well, you have to be ready to recruit externally. If you expect the team to work together for more than 6 months, or if you have a long-term contract with a single customer, you must invest the time to hire the right leaders. And when you write the job description, focus on the soft skills. Then in the interview, don't just ask them random questions. Test them. Give a scenario. Ask how they would handle a conflict or introduce a change. You are hiring for leadership, so test for leadership, not technical skills. Step number 4. Teach the playbook. And finally, the last step. Please don't skip this one. Even with the right people and the budget, this last step is what prevents frustration and unmet expectations. You can't just appoint new leaders. You have to empower them by teaching them your playbook. At a minimum, you need to personally train your project management team on these topics: motivation and leadership, task management and productivity, conflict resolution, and how to conduct performance reviews. For example, over my career, I've built specific lectures on these topics for every new leader on my team, because it's that important. And that is the 4-step framework. It's a simple structural change that the top 1% of project managers use. Step 1. Shift to a project management team and create your playbook. Step 2. Fund that playbook with time and money. Step 3. Staff it with leaders who want to lead. Step 4. Teach them the playbook so they can execute the project. When you have a strong playbook and a trained team to execute it, you are no longer a chief problem solver. You are a strategic project leader. Of course, this entire system relies on having an effective, practical project management framework to begin with. That's why I strongly recommend you watch this video next. It's a full project management course that gives you the exact practical approach I've used for 15 years to deliver projects on time and with less stress. Click the video now, I'm waiting for you there.